because you did mention back-to-back workouts, but if you train
Right.
3 days per week and your schedule allows it, would you say like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday? Would that be more
Yes,
ideal?
yes, yes. That
Okay.
would be ideal. That would be
Yeah, yeah.
ideal, and getting those 2 days off in between. Take advantage of those days off. Don't fill it out with another workout. Take advantage of that time off to enjoy life, recuperate, have fun, and this way, when you come into the gym, man, you're just so freaking psyched. Okay, because
I
that's what
love
it's
that.
all about. Being psyched when you come into the gym.
I can
I
relate to
love it.
that heavy. I can relate to that heavy. And those tuning in, either they're going to learn about that or they know about that already. So one or the other.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna find out one way or another. Okay, because your body will talk to you. You
Yeah,
better be receptive to the message that it's sending. Yeah,
that's it.
because
That's it.
your body will warn you before the breaking point. Yeah, because I've seen guys tear the muscles in their chest, their arms. Meanwhile, their body was talking to them prior to that happening.
Well, you had your turning point, like you mentioned, was around that contest, right? With the back squats, you said.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely, and that was my epiphany. And
yeah.
I'm like, okay, you got to try something different.
Get a sample for the listeners who might be curious. I'm curious myself. You go in, it's leg day. What does that look like? Like in terms of number of exercises? Are you doing just one set to failure, like Mike Mentzer would preach, back in the 80s and 90s? How does that look though for you now?
Okay, for me now, I'll go in. I always start out from the ground up. I start with my calves first. And a lot of people use a lot of weight. The key I found for me is to stretch. And if you do the exercise properly from the stretch to the contraction, the weight that guys use, they're not using.
Mm.
I train with guys that throw around a lot of weight. When they train with me, they're like, whoa, this is heavy. This is not a lot of weight. Yeah, because now we're targeting the full muscle. I stretch it out all the way to the end and I contract it and with a slow release. And I start with calves. I do 3 different exercises for calves. I'll do standing, seated, and any other variation. The vertical leg press. I love the vertical leg press to do calves. That's what I did this morning. And then I'll go to hamstrings. I'll do laying leg curls. I'll do 3 sets of those, 15 reps. The first set is probably 20 reps. The second set is 15. The next set, I may do 12 because I'm increasing the weight, but then I'll break it down
Mm.
and do like 6 more reps after I get that 12. And then I'll do another set. I'll increase the weight. I'll do maybe 8. Then I'll break it down, do another maybe 4, break it down, do another 4 to 6 to failure. Yeah.
Okay. So that's like a
And
drop
that
set.
a drop set. And then I follow that up with standing leg curls. And I'll do 15 reps with that. And I'll do the same thing. The first set, I'll do 15 reps, sometimes 20. The next set, drop set. And I'm trying to get anywhere from 12 to 18 reps. And so sometimes I'll start out with standing leg curls. Whichever one I choose first, I'll do 3 sets, and then the other one I'll do 2 sets, and vice versa. And then from there, I go to my favorite on legs for me is front squats. I
Mm.
love front squats. Nothing affects my quads like front squats. I'll do front squats. I'll go the first set, 15 failure. Okay. My second set, I'll probably get 12 reps out of that. The third set, I'll do 8, then I'll break it down and I'll do another 4. Then I'll break it down and do another 4. And when I'm done, my legs are blasted and the heart rate is phenomenal. Yeah.
Are you increasing the load from the, say, 15 rep set to the 12 rep set, or are you
Yeah.
keeping the load the
Yeah.
same?
No,
Okay.
I'm increasing the weight. Yeah.
And
Then I
resting
break it down.
between.
I rest in between because I need to recuperate because when I do one set, man, you are burning inside. Yeah.
Right.
So I would get a nice recuperation and I'm like, okay, let's go get it. And the one thing I never do is rob myself. I've been training for over 50 years and some people are like, oh man, I can miss and go a little bit lighter today or I can skip a set. No, I can't rob myself. I tell myself, no, you can't. You can't do that. Okay. I'm not robbing myself. I don't need anybody there watching me. Okay, I'm my own watchdog. Yeah.
That's awesome. That at 67 years old to still have this mentality and still want to get after it is truly amazing to see. Well, first off, the lifting, of course, makes you happy, right? And
Yes.
then the days between, I'm sure you're excited to go in the following day, or if you take 2 days between, whatever it is. Is it normally
Right.
1 to 2 days of rest between usually for you?
Yeah. I take one day in between and sometimes two. If I train 2 days in a row, I take 2 days off because sometimes I train back to back according to my schedule.
Would you normally pair, if, again, depending on the schedule, 2 upper body days back to back, or you try to avoid that for the most part?
Occasionally, I will do chest and arms, and then I'll do back and triceps, and then
Okay.
I'll rest. And I'll take 2 days off, and then I'll do legs like I did today. That's how I do it. After legs, I need that rest. After doing back, after doing legs, I need that rest. Yeah, because those are
Okay.
your two biggest muscles.
That's understandable. I was just going to say, so with the leg days, of course, those are grueling, and then back day, of course, it also can be demanding. So, but for the leg day, you like to have a day before and after, it sounds like.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
because I want to be totally recuperated and I want to be fueled up. By taking that day off before, I'm fueling myself up and getting my mind ready to go attack legs, which is my favorite body part to train.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds like it for sure. You mentioned the order. I think that's quite interesting to me. So you'll start literally with the smallest group of muscles and then kind of work your way up to the compound lift, which is your front squats that you enjoy doing. So that will be last on the workout order, is the front squats.
No, that's what I start out with on my quads. Then I'll do lunges. After front squat, lunges or sissy squats. Between those two exercises, anything else I put in is just candy. That's icing on the cake. But those are the meat and potatoes right there.
Hmm. Right,
Yeah.
right on. And so you'll do the calves, hamstrings, quads. That's typically the order you do, or sometimes you mix
Yeah.
it up.
Once in a blue moon, I'll do quads first and then
Hmm.
finish off with hamstring. But I always start out with calves.
What's the reasoning or logic behind that? Is it because you want to prioritize that?
Correct. There you go. You
Oh,
just said it.
okay.
Priority training. Okay. And, a lot of people, calves, they say, oh, my calves, they don't grow. No, because you don't attack them. And I attacked my calves. I used to go in and do calves like 2 days in a row, give them rest. You do what you find works for you. Because I tried everything. And then, like, when people see your legs, like, they think, oh, that's just genetics. No, that's a lot of hard work.
Hmm.
That's what that is. And you can overcome all that. So I figure do your priority training principles, what you want to focus on first. And that's what I do. So I start out with calves first, always. And then I'll do my normal routine is hamstrings and then quads. Because you
Okay.
see a lot of guys with good quads, weak hamstrings, and weak calves. Okay. So I start from the ground up. Yeah.
Oftentimes, if you look at the order, it's usually they'll start with quads and then end with calves, right? No
Yeah,
wonder why
because
they're not,
people,
no wonder
there
why
you
they're
go.
not, yeah, they're not
They're,
doing
they're
so well with
fatigued.
that.
They're fatigued. They're
They're
fatigued.
tired. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So they just do any little things for calves. No, when I go in, I start concentrated, mentally strong on calves, and then finish off with quads.
Priority training, that's interesting for the listeners because that can be, of course, implemented for anything someone wants to bring up.
Absolutely. And see, that's why, like I said, sometimes we're going to gym 4 days a week just to focus on, like, say, for instance, I want to bring my calves up. Yeah, I want to bring my triceps up. Whatever that particular area that I wanted to target, I would go in there and just target that particular muscle. Yeah. But the party training, you make that first. And this way, you're fresh, your mind is into it, and you'll see the results. You just have to have that dogged determination, and you
Hmm.
can't quit. That's the easiest thing in the world to do is to quit.
Of course, it's the default, right? For a lot of people.
Absolutely.
But you can train yourself where the default is the opposite. I feel like when you do it more and more and more, it becomes habitual, right? Not to quit and to take those sets to the house and to give it your all, right? Every time you're in the gym.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you'll be surprised how that carries over to everything that you do. All right. It's a mentality, it's a discipline. Okay. You're not going to quit. Quitting, that's not even part of the equation. No, quitting is not an answer. Okay.
Let's say on the chest and the biceps day and you do some rear delts you mentioned, right? On that day.
I do front delts.
chest, front delts, and some biceps, correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So was there certain things that you were trying to prioritize on that day as well that you would do first in the workout?
Yes. I always start out with chest because my chest developed early because I used to do a lot of push-ups. Like I said, I used to watch Jack LaLanne and I used to do push-ups all the time. So once I started in the gym, my chest responded well. Like I said, I won best chest in Teenage USA as well as best back. Push-ups was my mainstay, as far as chest. And then once I got into the gym and started lifting weights, benching was a strong point for me. I was always relatively strong for my size. And I used to do a lot of benching, heavy benching, high rep benching. I've done it all as far as benching is concerned. And then like today I start out, my first set is 15 reps. And I pushed that to the end. Whereas a lot of people use warm-up sets, no, that first warm-up set is a working set for me. I push it to the end. From there, I'll add weight. My first set is like 15 to 20. My next set is going to be, I'm increasing the weight, is going to be probably 12 reps. Okay. The next set, I'm going to add a little bit more weight. I'm going to get 8 reps out of that. Now I'm breaking it down. After I do 8 reps, I'll get like maybe 4 or 5 reps. And then I'll do another set, increase the weight. Now I'm going to do 2 breakdowns. The first set, I might get 8. The next set is 6. The next set, I might get 8 out of it. But the chest is pumped like you would not believe. I'll start out like with bench pressing, and then from benching, I'll go either incline or decline. Okay, if I do benching, I'm not going to do declines. I'm going to do either flat bench or declines. And then I'm going to do inclines. So I'm going to do 2 of those compound movements in my chest workout. And one of my favorite for chest is dips. I love dips. I think those are the squats for your upper body. The pump that you get from doing the stretching from the dips. And then I like to finish off with pec decks, getting that stretch. And, because you need to get that stretch to open up the capillaries and let the blood flow.
The dips, are those body weight or?
No, I'll use weight.
So even to this day?
Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
even to this day, I add weight. Yeah.
So
back in the day, I used to strap on 345-pound plates and do dips. And now I do maybe a 45-pound plate. They work, man. Oh my God.
So you're talking about like 3, 4 chest exercises before you move on to
Then
the
I go into biceps.
biceps. Okay.
Yeah. And for biceps, I like to grab a dumbbell and turn my hands up toward the ceiling, just squeezing up and get that contraction and let it go down as far as it can in its natural movement. And that just puts a peak on your biceps that you wouldn't believe. And then I'll follow that up with some Zotman curls where you bring it up, twist. Oh my God. And I'm always turning my hands out so you can get that squeeze on your bicep. And I let it down slowly. It's all about control. And if you do the weight exercise properly, what looks like lightweight to some people, no, that's heavy because that's relative. Heavy is relative. Like I said, I trained with many guys that were much bigger than me and strong as an ox. They were struggling doing the weights that I was doing. Okay. Because now they're saying we're targeting that muscle. We're not slinging the weight. Okay. We're working the muscle. It's a joke, and you see these guys bitching and complaining. Come on, big strong man, let's do it. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
it. Because you're doing the high reps as well. Well, how high would you say you'd go? 20? You'd kind of cap it at 20, or would you go higher sometimes?
Yeah. On biceps, I try to keep it anywhere from 10 to 15, 18. And I switch
Okay.
that up every now and then. But see, when I go heavy, I'll get like 8 reps, but then I'm going to still break it down and squeeze some more out of it.
That's
So
it.
I'm getting my heavy in at the same time.
It's very interesting. Like with the, you were talking about the big strong dudes, sometimes they'll train with you if they do and they struggle. But when you start to control that resistance, that's a different animal, right? That's a
That's a
different animal.
totally different animal. That's a
Yes.
totally different animal. Okay.
That's,
They're like, wow. Because people are used to slinging the weight. No, we're going to control it all the way through. Concentration.
and talk about the importance that has even on the injuries, like reducing the risk of
Oh,
injuries. Talk about that. Talk about that. Let the people
absolutely.
know.
Okay. By doing that, you don't mess up your shoulders. You're not messing up your knees, you're in control the whole time. So therefore, you're not injuring yourself. Okay, because when I'm benching, I let the weight down slowly and I explode it off my chest. Okay, a lot of people lose it on the negatives. That's where you want to concentrate at. People think it's all about the positive force. No, you got to let it down slowly. That's the resistance. Okay, that's where the build comes in at. It's eccentric. People think it's the concentric. You squeeze it, but let it down slowly.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah.
You see that too
Yeah.
much in the gyms. People are just launching the weight and just all over the
Exactly.
place with it. All over the place with it.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
I see guys and I'm like, no, try it this way. They can't handle the weight that they were handling. And they're like, oh, wow, bro. Wow, I see the difference. I'm like, yeah, you were just in here wasting a lot of time and a lot of energy. Okay. And I'm like, if you're going to be in here and I see you in here, you want to get the most out of it. Let me show you. How did that feel? Wow. Unbelievable. And they thank you for it. Yeah.
Right. Right. And the shoulders be thanking them for it too.
You better believe it, man, because I've
Yeah.
seen some of the guys with bad shoulders, elbows, and everything like that because they were just throwing weight around, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say per exercise, like you're talking 2 hard sets plus the triple drop? You do like a triple drop, right?
Yep. Yep.
So you're talking like
Absolutely.
4 or 5 tough sets per exercise. Is that accurate to say?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And
Yeah.
then you move on
And
to the next one.
then I move on to the next one. But
So that's like 20 to 15 and then like a 12 to 10 and then that 8 and then you're doing the drop.
there you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
because at 8, that's my heavy set.
That's your
Okay.
heavy set. And you're increasing the weight each time. So you get the 15 to 20, that's a certain weight. You'll go all out. Then you'll
Right.
do the 10 to 12 or 10 to 15. You'll
Right.
go all out, but you've increased the weight. And then you increase the weight one more time and you do the 8 reps-ish. And then you
Right.
do the triple drop. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And the triple drop, let's say you're using a machine or do you use machines, by the way, or is it mostly dumbbells, barbells?
Dumbbell barbells. You have a couple of different machines. I love the Smith machine because it can control your posture, especially like when you're doing front squats. It's the control element of the Smith machine that I like. And on the Smith machine, even when I do chest, I like how that feels. The Smith machine is probably the one machine that I use. I don't use a ton of different machines. I might use a pec deck, but other than that, I don't use a lot of machines. Yeah, I use a lot of free weights.
So when you're doing like these drops, how much would you drop it? I know it depends on the exercise, of course, but is it like the smallest increment or you kind of feel it out to see what rep range you want to land in? I guess, is that more what it is?
Exactly. That's what I do. I target the rep range. Say, for instance, I have, let's see, just put a number out there. I'm doing 150 pounds on a bench, and I do 20 reps with that. I'll add more weight, a quarter on each side, and that's when I'll bring it down to like 12 reps or 8. I'll add more weight, and then another 50 pounds to that, and then I break it down that way. And see, you got to check your ego. A lot of guys are concerned with how much weight they're pushing. I tell guys, when you come in here, focus on yourself. You're not a power lifter. You feel your muscle working because a lot of these guys, when you see them chugging that heavy weight, they're not doing it in the same motion that you're doing it. So you focus on you. I don't give a damn what anybody else in the gym is doing. Okay, that doesn't affect me one bit. I got to focus on Dwayne Broadway's body. Yeah. So I'm
That's
not
it.
looking around seeing how much weight somebody else is using. That's irrelevant.
Yeah,
Irrelevant.
yeah, yeah. That's irrelevant. Yeah, that's accurate. That's accurate. I like that.
Check your ego
Hmm.
at the yeah.
Great
Let's
message.
come in
Great
here and train.
message.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And so let's talk about this back day now. So let's finalize it. So we got the chest and arm,
Oh,
the chest and biceps. Now let's talk about the back and the rear delts and the triceps.
okay. For back pull-ups, that's been
Mm.
my mainstay since I was a kid. I just grab fences, open areas, and just do pull-ups as a kid, and that really gave me that width on my back. So I keep that as a mainstay to this day. I start out with pull-ups all the time. Yeah,
The
and
the
pull up
wide, is
front,
it like,
front.
yeah,
No, the other way around. Yeah,
here we
like
are.
that. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
and
cool.
chin up to the bar, and I squeeze it, and I release it slowly. I'm not jerking.
Mm.
I'm squeezing it all the way through. And my second favorite exercise is a T-bar row.
Okay.
Oh man, those things, man, they give you the thickness in your mid back. So pull up, chin ups rather, and the T-bar row. Those are my two staple exercises for back.
Chest support, or you no chest support?
Yeah, chest support. I put
Chest
my
support.
chest on. Yeah, I put my chest on the bench and I bring that thing up and squeeze it hard, and then I slow
Okay.
release it. And when you do that, oh my God, your back is screaming, man. When you squeeze it, as opposed to just bringing it up and letting it right back down, that weight becomes very heavy. Okay, and I'll get like 12 reps out of that. Then I'll start breaking it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same style with every exercise,
Same
same
style.
style.
Yeah, exactly. And then I like to do inverted hand movements. Sit down and pull the bar down. Grab the bar high and bring it down to my chest and squeeze it and release it up. And when I release it up, I let it stretch all the way out. Okay. And when I bring it down, I squeeze it. And then when I let it go, I'll arch my back up so I can get the full stretch in my lats. Because that stretch is so important. And
That's a pull
that,
down. Your
yeah, yeah,
cable?
cable, yes.
Okay.
And my goodness, the pump you get out of that is unbelievable. And then sometimes I'll sit on the seated pull.
You talking about the reverse pec deck machine?
I'll use that for my rear delts.
Okay.
Yeah. But, the sitting down laterals for your back.
Oh,
On the
like a machine row.
exactly, the row.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll do 4 different exercises. Then I go to back. I'll do reverse pec deck
For the
for
rear
my rear
delts.
delt.
Yeah.
Or I'll grab the rope and pull it back. Those are the 2 exercises I like to do for the rear. Side laterals I like doing, and then the front laterals. And I'll do shrugs as well. And then for triceps, I like starting out with behind the head with the cables. Once again, the movement is the stretching. A lot of people don't stretch it all the way back. I'm trying to stretch it as far back as I can in a full control movement. I start out with that, and then I'll use close grip benching. They really pack it on. And I like doing skull crushers as well. Then I'll do kickbacks. And that's what I do for my triceps. That's it for triceps. Yeah.
Thank you.